Like, is there any concrete evidence to prove that theory that like they exist? Do you think? And if you have any theory or like any fact or evidence, so present here in the chat room. I want to see.
Well, if we are possible, I can only say if we are possible, somewhere in the
Want to see.
universe, some other life form might also come to existence because
Yeah,
the
like
physical
there
world.
are there are some like chances, yes,
Yeah.
like because universe is so big, it is so much big. Yes, it just uploaded another video. Like, yeah. Said if you are listening to me, so like I
Yes.
got the notification from your YouTube channel.
Uh, I'm new on this. Did you send it to the channel or
Yeah,
to?
Sid, if you should ask Sid about that. I don't have any authority.
Ah,
Yeah.
I don't know how to do. Do you want me to share the link or?
No, I don't have
what do you want to
authority.
do?
Ah, okay.
What do
Well,
you want to do there? What do you want me to do?
there is something called the Fermi paradox. I think it says it's a very rare possibility for other life to exist. Did you
The
guys hear about
Fermi
that one?
part, I don't know what that is.
It's I think it's like a mathematical claim that says
Mm-hmm.
uh, other intelligent beings, like the existence of other intelligent beings, or maybe let's say biological beings,
Okay.
is is he says in summary, the claim is that we might be the only world where life exists.
Like I don't have any idea about that. Because I don't read that kind of articles, so I'm not aware.
It's
Like,
a
hmm
it's a popular topic, but depends on I sometimes check like these aliens videos, and therefore
oh,
it's probably
okay.
showing me it's like recently quite popular, this idea. And
hmm
the guy or the people who are claiming this, they also back it up with some ideas, but I don't
Yeah, but
remember the details.
yeah, some documentaries I already was that
I think
UFOs found in Russia once upon a time, and just and some in like in Florida, like few years back, some people
yes, yes.
found something is just flying in the sky,
Mm.
unidentified like object. So like, but they cannot claim, or they are not sure about that it's UFO or that kind of thing. So evidences are not there to support this kind of theories. Yeah, some people they watched, yes, I agree that, but you need evidences to support,
Yeah, true.
to
I
make
agree.
to make that theory an evidence, a fact.
There are a few guys.
Yeah,
I
Tom,
think.
welcome back.
Do you know
Hmm.
there is a show on YouTube called Reducted. I think it's a news, mostly news, but sometimes they also host some people about the UFOs. So at one of their sessions, there was a guy from the FBI,
Hmm.
which was tasked with. So his work was all about aliens, and in
Okay.
one of his stories, he says one day some alien craft landed very close to him,
Okay.
and then a few days later, or like not so long after that,
Hmm.
the
But these UFOs stories nowadays, they become like fairy tales, for people.
True.
When they started broadcasting these things on like famous documentaries or infotainment channels like Discovery and National Geographic, and like
History
other.
Channel is very
Hmm.
popular.
Yeah, so the
Mm.
people actually started believing in those theory that yes, like they like maybe they these theories are like, yes, UFOs are there and aliens can anytime they can attack. Yeah, but nowadays, I don't think, except children, no one believes in those theories nowadays, because
Actually,
everyone knows that.
Particular,
Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, people, there is since my childhood, on TV, on newspaper, the term, I think clickbait wasn't a thing then, but the journalists, to catch attention, I think they made up stories like
Mhm,
this.
yeah, 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 absolutely.
Or if
Mm.
someone comes with such story, they were willing to broadcast or like write about it.
Yeah, still these documentaries are available on
Yeah,
YouTube. Yeah.
it's an interesting topic, and we are always curious. And in the past, people would really look into the sky. And I remember when I was little, if we were in a village, so where the
Excuse me. I just wanted to ask you how is the audio portion of this coming through from them, because it's kind of low on the meter, and I was wondering how you guys actually could how you hear it. Look out for number one. Hello, sir, and thank you for your service. I don't know why people say that. Let's get these guys going again.
Yeah.
so when you sleep, you can actually watch the stars. So you also think it's a huge thing, like a big thing on top of your head, and you said you have like these ideas, and then when you see it on TV or in a newspaper, say, can it be, is it likely?
Okay, I think I had my audio messed up there somehow, so I don't know if you heard me, but if you did, you didn't miss anything. I was just. This is the this is the commercial break, and now on to our regularly scheduled program.
No, for me it's like I'm agnostic to it, because I have no proof, and I also have no proof that it doesn't
Okay.
exist. So
So you just wanna talk over that.
yeah, it's
Like, okay, understand.
if we can change topic if you guys
Background
are
hiss
Yeah, no,
should be
no, no,
gone.
no problem. Yes. Yeah.
for me it's a possibility, but
Yeah.
the way we know things, like our knowledge
Yeah.
shows that it's not so easy to travel like
Their
stories.
volume is low, right?
Even if
Okay, let
is,
me.
there are others. It's
Mm-hmm.
not so easy to
There, how's
travel.
that?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say if a
I
few
can
people
gain it a little
travels,
bit
and
too
even if
if
they
that's
die
not
on
good
the
enough.
way, and if they make newer generations,
Yeah.
in a few generations you end up like the Habsburg family.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let's see if I can.
you need to be crowded,
There you go. How's that?
to
That should be better.
populate and keep going for millions of years for discovery. Yeah, and you also need to find volunteers. So
Where are you from, Aziz?
I'm from Turkey.
Okay, you are from Turkey. So Turkey,
So
has much influence, of Europe, don't you think?
it's just being loud. Yeah, if you mean the president.
Erdogan.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that the name.
He's
I'm right.
he's just he's just loud, and in reality, on the backstage, he
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
just
begged,
trying
you
to
know,
fix
he's
that
like a beggar, or
audio.
he's not that Trump. Because do you see Putin? Putin is never like a bad boy. You know, he doesn't say,
Putin
uh,
is a bad boy,
"Hey,
man.
Europe, behave or I will come." You know, Putin is always kind, talking kind, but he has real balls. You know, if
Hmm.
if needed,
You want me to stream the
he
Mm.
screen?
like because they have like at least they have like.
Well, streaming the screen is it's almost irrelevant because there's nothing to stream. It's just a blank screen with people talking, and they all have little avatars in little boxes, and there's really nothing to see. Growth path. Welcome to the stream, by the way, but I don't have anything to show you. The only thing I can show you is the comments, but there are no comments. It's just a list of people entering the room and leaving the room. Once the uh, conversation in the chat stream gets exciting and salty or whatever, then however different it is right now than what it is right now, I can let you see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to switch to here, and to I'm going to here. See, there's the side chat, right? There's the side chat right there. So you can see there's really nothing happened. It's just people leaving, people no, 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 no. Every now and again there's a message, but unless something comes up, I'll just leave it off the screen. If that's okay with you, okay? You can ask me at any time to bring it up, and I will. All right. So let's go back to the show. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Very close with me. And they say these are all propaganda. And when I talk to Russians, I see Russians like half of the Russians, maybe more, are not happy about the war. They are against it, and they say it was unnecessary.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yes, people
Yeah.
are not, agree to this decision that we should, like occupy the land of
Hmm.
Ukraine. They are not happy with that. They actually want better economic opportunities in Russia. They want to
Yes.
start up new businesses over there. So, like, I have one of the friends from Russia, and his name is
Hmm.
Lax. Yes, his name is Lax, and he's like 53 or 54 years old, and he's mature person. So he was telling me that Putin is like a monster. He doesn't want, he like doesn't do anything, to the economy for betterment of people and for
Yeah,
living
true.
standards. Yes, medical conditions are very pathetic in Russia. Medical, like institutions, hospitals, dispensaries. So yeah, but they are busy, in wars.
Yeah, it's. I think there is an intention of land grab, at least like strategic spots. They want to take it back. And yesterday, so there is a guy which is like opposition. He has a channel in English, and he makes Russian videos and talks on the street. And normally the guy itself is
So
not talking.
he's against Putin.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me can you share the link of this channel if you are
Um,
comfortable?
sure, sure, sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I want to listen to him.
and when you watch, you will see most people they are not comfortable about speaking about politics.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Of course, regular people don't have any intelligence. They don't have any like
Yeah, like
expertise.
I talked with a lot of people from Russia here, and all of they were mature, so they are in 30s, 40s, and 50s. So you know they told me that our literacy rate is very low and people are generally not comfortable in English language. So that is where the people are actually lagging. That's why the you know like it creates a barrier why the information is not coming out from there, because the information which actually hovering around the public domain, which is not coming out from there because people are not comfortable in English language. So they know, but like very simple English, which is not sufficient for those complex topics.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm. That's
But
why.
people who are talking, the channel, I found the channel is 1420
Mhm.
by Daniel Orain. Daniel is written with two I's, Daniil, and his last
Mhm.
name is Orain.
Mhm.
So if you type 1420 Russia, maybe it will show.
Can you like
Yeah,
write in the chat box if you are
yeah,
comfortable?
sure.
Yeah, please.
Can we share links? Or
Yeah, if you yeah, like if you have links, and
yeah,
then you
sure.
can.
Let
Yeah,
me
please.
just link the channel.
Yeah. Take your time.
This guy is really politic and
Okay.
he's funny to watch because people don't want to talk.
Ah,
So
yes,
my
yes.
friend is married to a Russian woman, and so I have like a
Oh,
friend from. Do you know Hello Talk? It's for language learning.
I know here the name, here the name of this website, but I never joined.
I have a friend from Siberia, uh,
Okay.
and I said because I've seen what Putin has done for his country.
Hmm.
He's like not 100% evil, or he
Okay.
uh, he he corrected some things for his country, but what I see, that friend said, how do you? I said, how do you like Putin? Do you like him, or is he liked in general? He seems to be very popular, like getting 70-80% of the vote. Uh,
Mm.
Can you see the link in the
Yes,
chat?
I opened.
Okay.
I subscribed that channel
Cool.
1420 by Daniel
Yeah,
Oren.
yeah. This
That's the
this one is
channel.
quite good. Yeah, it is. So I
Hmm.
think he has like a almost every day it shows me videos of him, and
He updates
he
daily.
asks like
Hmm.
really controversial
Yeah.
questions,
He just
not so
yesterday
comfortable.
uploaded two videos
Yeah.
over there.
Developed for the
Hmm.
for the government. So he made the government strong, but the people, like this Siberian friend, he said
Hmm.
the you're too loud now. Okay. So he said some people work for 8,000. What was their money? Their
Yeah, like
ruble, yeah,
they have
rubles.
ruble. Yeah, ruble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say some people still works for 8,000 rubles. Which is when you divide it by 10, it's like $80, which is for Russia it's very low. And normally people Rick has written something because Russians know they are weak against to the US or even Ukraine is the most powerful country now in terms of war. When they took Crimea, the Ukrainian army was about 20,000 people. And eventually, in the next 8 years, they grew their army. And they also have they really have like this Nazi faction, but it's not the whole military.
Okay.
But they are like willing to do anything. So when there was about to be a deal, like in Istanbul, they were about to cease fire and come to an agreement, but then Boris Johnson, didn't let it happen.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
No.
Like 2 months, 2 or 1.5 months after the war started, they were going to agree on. It could be peace, peace could happen. But then they didn't let,
Aziz,
yeah, they didn't
you're
let it,
from Turkey?
yeah, they didn't let it happen. But Boris Johnson, because meanwhile, there is a war going on, but there is also like the armament, all the weapons, all the ammunition, all the stuff coming to Ukraine. It's paid by tax money from other countries. So someone is making money, and behind the scenes, they are very happy because they are making money, or somehow improving their power. So this war is only they came out of Afghanistan. Now they need somewhere else to sell their weapons. And
No,
all
I
they
don't
want
think.
is like the main goal is to steal tax monies, and this is valid for all countries and for all politicians. Maybe let's say a few, like maybe a handful of politicians are not like that, but the rest they are all for self-interest. So
Which country you talking about?
the United States or any
Russia.
kind of yeah, Russians. I don't know if Russians are. I think the government produce the weapons in Russia, right?
Um, do you like US, Aziz?
Uh, the government or the people?
I mean both.
I don't like the government, but the people depends on person to person. It's
Well, why? I think US is like a good country. They're trying to make a peace between Ukraine and Russia.
my country.
No, I
Uh,
was thinking about US.
U.S. trying to make peace?
Yeah.
No, that's totally incorrect. Do you
Like
mean recently or from the
mhm.
beginning?
From the beginning.
No, that's not
Don't,
true.
Aziz, let me say something. Like, do, do you think that like democratic political system is the best form of political system in the world? Do you think that?
No, no.
Okay, which system is the best according to you?
Anarchism.
Okay.
Bro, why
Yeah,
the
anarchism.
actually? Are you serious? Aziz?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Why? Why anarchism?
Why anarchism? Because it's direct and there is no room for exploitation. It's minimal.
Exploitation is very high, in anarchism or monarchism system. Don't you know that even in England there is a constitution,
So,
democratic constitution apart from the monarchism? Don't you know that?
but what do you understand when I say anarchism?
Hmm. Yeah.
I think the what you understand from anarchism should be very different because you all laugh.
Yeah. Okay. Elaborate a little about that.
Like anarchism is like the government, the people is the government in anarchism. And
Is that meaning of?
yeah, so normally anarchism is also so like anarchy and anarchism is different. Anarchism is like a political way of doing things, but like when you say anarchy, it's like a chaotic. Everyone does anything they like. If you're more powerful, you can take from others. What I'm talking about is not like that. Like it's like anarchism is a way of organizing.
My
Yeah,
God, like
it's a yeah.
my understanding and your understanding about anarchism is completely different.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
that's
yeah, I'm an anarchist and you're not. So it's understandable.
how you
Yeah.
can say that anarchism is the best political system. Is there any
Yeah, it
voting
is.
system so normal people can vote in anarchism?
In anarchism, you don't have to vote, like for most things.
So how you can say they are not exploited? What is that, Dora?
In anarchism, you voluntarily come together to solve problems, and your problem doesn't have to be the solution. Let's say your solution for one problem, you can have multiple
but
solutions.
only but only dominant communities and dominant people can come together to solve the problem. Rest of the population, and rest of the population, they are just compelled to agree the decision whatever actually is decided by the dominant class. Don't you
Oh,
think
that
that?
no, no, no. So, and okay, let me give you some like prerequisites or like some front knowledge. So,
Hmm.
in anarchism, everyone joins this group.
Oh my God, what is that?
Who's making that noise?
Why he was like behaving? Yeah.
Yeah, some people. Before you came, there was another making like this sound.
Yeah,
So,
no problem. Okay.
in anarchism, you don't force anyone to be part of it. So, people come together
Hmm.
by choosing so. And there are a few main principles, which
Okay.
is like the one main principle is no one is trying to like dominate someone else. So you voluntarily, as equals, come together to solve problems or to do business or whatever you want to realize. And maybe voting might be needed at some issues which can not be split. Like the solution has to be one. For example, let's say normally for one problem you can have multiple solutions, like different ways of doing it. But let's say if we need from one city to other city, you need to make a road, right? So people might have to vote for that, like how should we do this road or
Hmm.
what should we use for the road,
Okay.
because it's you can't have like 100 roads. It's not physically possible. But on the other hand, let's say you are like 200 people and there are two options or two
Okay.
ideas for school, right? I'm
Okay.
giving you like a simplified example. So
Hmm.
one group says we want this kind of
Okay.
education. The
And
other one says
okay.
we want a little bit different than that. Our
Okay.
our thinking is different and our baking is like this. So people in the society, let's say the idea comes from like 10 people, like five
Okay.
to five. There are groups of five, and five
Mm.
people promote one idea, the other idea. So the rest of the society, they say, okay, these are the solutions. Um, I like the option A. The other one says I like option B, and there is another group say we don't like neither nor B, so we need to come up with our own educational system.
Okay.
So they can also have their own school if they
Mm-hmm.
put their energy, or if they develop their own system. Because if they don't like it, they have another way of doing it, right? So
Okay.
or you're just whining, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There are two possibilities. You say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I like this one better. So you test it, and if you don't like it, just switch to the other option. If you also don't like it, or from your experience, you can say, this system has this locks in this way, and the other locks in these ways.
Okay.
So let's fix this and create a third option. By the way, it's so everything can change. Like the people who are serving or providing these ideas, they can benefit from each other. Like it
Okay.
doesn't have to be A or B or white or black, you know. So let's say the people who developed the B way, so they can ask the people, okay, you have a better idea, so how should we improve? So they can change always. So
And
uh,
what the religion, like uh, how religion, uh,
religion, in I think in
plays
anarchy,
the role in that, or like it influences the decisions, in
I
the
have seen,
society,
you
in a
know,
nation.
some
Hmm.
there are some groups. For example, I think there is an anarchist Christianity society, or
Hmm.
societies, multiple, maybe.
Hmm.
I've seen it, but I think religion, if the religion, you know, lots
No,
of
no,
religion,
actually my point is that if someone is like don't have any, religion,
yeah,
like me, I don't have any religion.
cool.
So what is my situation, my economic and socio-economic condition in that environment?
I think like in an anarchist
Set.
society,
Hmm.
it would be secular probably.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
So
because
how people can come together, to form a nation, how religiously inspired, or idea, or like they are motivated by any idea or any
by the
ideology.
yeah, the ideology is anarchism itself, and I think there are so
No,
many
no,
versions of
actually
anarchism.
there are some, always in anarchism, there is a, is uh, a, ideology of a religion, always it may present, so
You know,
like there is a strong role of religion in anarchism, and the
like there is this.
democracy is the only political system which can be secular, in itself.
Mhm.
uh, I didn't like hear anything about that, like that's why I told that democratic system where ordinary man, woman, they, like they have vote power, so they can choose a government, they can change if they are not satisfied. So even people are minority,
You know that
they can raise their. Mhm.
the like the idea that people can choose
Mm.
is like
So what do
mostly
you?
it's merely an illusion, you know. It's because
No, no.
for example, in our elections, you know, we had
Okay.
like two options, and both options are not yeah, none of them are really satisfying, but there are just two options. And let's say when I vote, I don't like wholeheartedly vote because I have only two options, and once every 4 or 5 years you vote, and we think we determine our future, which is in reality it's nothing, you know.
So what kind of system in Afghanistan? What kind of system it is?
in
like in
Afghanistan.
Taliban? What do you think about that? It's an anarchy, or what is that?
Oh no, no, that one is
Hmm.
it's like a religious aristocracy.
Okay.
I think
So
there are only one or two. Like on top, there are a few guys. Like I think they have like a higher. It's like it's totally not about freedom because any Taliban, from what I hear, if you're a member of the Taliban,
hmm
any member, when he decides, like personally, when he thinks you are doing something wrong according to their belief, they can punish you. Like
yeah.
every Taliban is a judge. So, and some of the punishments is rape. Like there was a guy
So
which
every
made,
person in like in Talibani organization, so equally they are powerful and punish people who are like
yeah,
commit any.
that's not anarchism. That's so far from anarchism.
Hmm. Hmm.
Anarchism, the roots or the core of anarchism is respecting others, like for real.
Okay. Mm.
So and you try not to dominate. Like domination, or let's say there is also another word. You project power on someone else to do your thing. So
Okay.
this kind of thing is, let's say a father affects his son, like when they are little, they're kids. Uh, that's also like a domination form of domination, or man can like be dominant against woman, or let's say someone who is more wealthy, and if someone is working for him because of the uh, because of this relation.
So
The
anarchical system, like it does have any constitution, written constitution I'm talking about.
I think you can have something like the Ten Commandments. You can even have a constitution, but it's
Hmm.
not. I think it would. I can speak for 100%, but like the constitution would be like a small one, not so something
Okay.
that
Not
everyone
in
can.
detail. Okay.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
like they have like core principles
Okay.
because
Fundamentals.
yeah.
Hmm.
So uh, and because in history there was only a few trials of anarchism,
Hmm.
like
So
in
it is
Spain.
completely like a hierarchical free system.
Yeah, you want no hierarchy.
Okay. It is completely hierarchy
Yeah,
free.
it's against hierarchy because it thinks that
Hmm.
hierarchy is a way of exploitation. So
Okay. Hmm.
because we have hierarchy now, like multiple
Okay.
levels of hierarchy,
Hmm.
so the people who has the leading position, or like the key positions, they can
Okay.
uh, they can exploit their
But don't you think that the minority communities may be exploited in that kind of system, because religious always has been a powerful force than like minority group in a nation, like in India. Minorities right now, they are suffering. Yes, it is true. So like in hierarchies, like sorry, in anarchical system, you know if something bad happens to the minority community, like suppose atheist
mm,
group in minority in anarchical system, and they want to raise some, they are raising some questions. Okay, so who guarantees them that like you will get justice?
the whole society. But
Hmm.
in an anarchy, your identity, like like this, the way I understand, in an anarchy, there are no classes or there are no minorities.
No,
Like
yeah, I
everybody is equal.
understand. It is completely hierarchy free, classless society,
Yeah, yeah.
where society is responsible and society is the topmost authority for taking the like taking the decisions for the society. Okay, so
Mhm.
society is the like complete authority, is the final authority.
Everyone, like
Hmm.
every single person in an anarchy is the guarantor of the.
Okay.
So everyone is the police, and normally you join the society because you want to be. You are an anarchist, and
Hmm.
you have no intention to suppress others or like lead others. I mean, leading is okay, but like leading, but in an anarchy, like there is not one leader. Everyone is the
let
leader
me let
when
me
they.
ask you here one thing, very important thing, which is like to be noted here, that if like if suppose it's a hypothetical condition, like in a country where they have an archy system. Okay, and where we they have like 50 crore of population people in that country. And what happens, they are indulged in international trade and finances. Okay, it's hypothetical. Okay, so it is
Mhm.
not actually evidence based. So like what happens that some people, you know like wants some people want like sugar, and some people want petroleum product, or like for uh, like fuels for their cars and like two wheelers. Okay, so and everyone is rushing, that my demand should be fulfilled first. So what happens in that condition,
So
if everyone is if everyone is the final authority, what would be the condition?
so when something is scarce, do you mean? So
Yeah.
if the, yeah.
I also don't understand the principle behind the success of anarchy. There has to be a
Hmm?
leader. There
Yes.
has to
Yeah.
be the final decision maker. It doesn't make sense if there
Yes.
isn't.
Oh, that's because I think because the things like the systems you are familiar with, makes it hard to think outside of it. Like when I was little, I saw like in a TV show, like a TV show from the United States.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, in Turkey, the trash is gathered by the municipality, so by the government. Okay, so when I saw in the like the foreign TV show, uh, a private company is collecting the trash, and I said, I couldn't get my head around it. Okay, I was a little, like I was like 12 years old, but I said, how come, like a private company, how come they can, isn't this the job of the government? So, because it was a strange concept for me. So, in anarchism, you say you need a final decision when there needs to be a single decision for some issue. Like if there is no way to have parallel solutions, like multiple solutions, and if there has to be one solution, then the best way is to vote. But now, for example, in my country, like I think at least half of my country thinks the president is trying to crush the country. Okay, this is what we believe. It might be true or not, but we don't like it to happen. So, and we blame it on the other half of the population. We say these ignorance can't see that this guy is crushing the country, like in all ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and we say, should they really? We say no. Should ignorant people vote because their decision affects us? We can see the damage. Maybe we are. This might be totally like real, physically real, or we might be dreaming. But let's say it's true. Like, let's say there is someone damaging, and he has this way of play with people, and he can affect the majority and get voted. and then whatever he does is not beneficial but harming the society. So voting. So whoever votes also needs to have some knowledge about what they are voting about. This is also what I believe. So to solve this, like if there should be one solution. So if it's not physically not possible to have multiple solutions for some kind of issue, then people need to vote. And before they vote, I think people who are knowledgeable about that issue should share their knowledge with the rest of the society. So that's the best way I can come out with. Even in anarchy, sometimes you might have to vote.
Hmm.
But
Anarchy is not a successful, political system. Like it
you
is
can say
pol-
that. You can
Mhm,
say that
yeah,
because okay, let me
it's
let me say
completely failure. That's why we have to bring the democratic system. uh,
be, you can say
What
that
is
because
anarchy, by the way, to you?
uh, let's say
Anarchy is
anarchism because
hierarchy free system.
yeah let's say anarchism because
Oh,
anarchy
they are like they are like another definition for anarchist.
What?
Someone who's anarchy,
an-
he's
uh,
like direct democracy, where people can participate in democratic system directly.
No,
an anarchist
in
is someone
democratic
who
system we have a government,
think
you know so
yeah
there is no government in that. Society
yeah
is
there are actually
responsible for the society. So there
uh,
may be some civil societies in that on the mutual understanding, okay, between the people, okay, like, and they form, and they may draft the policies according to that, like, take an example, like, if someone is physically well, and with big muscle, can uh, oppress other one who is not physically well. So this, it can easily can happen in a anarchy system.
no that's not true because in the anarchist society when you join you are an anarchist and join not everyone not the whole society joins like
Okay,
an
who?
anarchist society exists of
Mhm.
like knowledgeable anarchists. It's not like you like let's say 20 people come. Let's say they become a power and they force anarchism upon the others. That's not the case because that won't work because
But how
anarchism
people are
is like
getting educated in an anarchical system where you don't have any of educational institutions in that, and
how
who
do
is
you know
responsible? If
you can
all
have
are
wait
equal,
wait
if,
wait wait
like,
you
if all are
You
equal.
know,
anarchism let
hang
let me
on,
say
hang on.
something.
Just let me tell you. In anarchy, you break this hierarchical system where you don't have hierarchies and you have direct democracy where people can participate directly. In current system, if you want to become minister or maybe elected member of your parliament, you need lot of money. But in anarchy, you don't need lot of money.
True.
You can directly relate it to people. So I think it's more effective than the current system.
Everyone can cater at any moment and uh, my friend Indian Crusader, you said there is no school in anarchism, which is totally incorrect. You have
Yeah.
institutions, but the organization of institutions are voluntary, and people who voluntarily come together, who are
Mhm.
like-minded and who believes in the same solution. So they
Don't
come
you?
together and they
Mhm.
form an organization. They can be schools, they can be factories, they can be companies, but there is just not anarchy. There is no government, but the people itself is the
It is,
government.
no, no,
You know,
like,
the people
it's,
itself is the government, or we call it
mhm.
governance. You know, the governance
No,
is done by the
it
people
is not
directly.
possible, because always businesses,
You
businesses
claim it's
have
not
a.
possible, but you have no idea, brother. You have no
You
idea.
need to read about it. So I
It's
think so. You need to
possible.
read about it.
I am.
In Indian Crusader, if you read about it, I bet you will become an anarchist.
Yeah, it's very possible.
If if all
because it
people are equal, so they cannot have a businessman. Business is always, itself is a hierarchical system. how
no.
you how you can bring progress, economic progresses in a nation where an anarchical
Okay.
system have
Have you ever cooperated with your friend to do something, like even preparing meal, or
many
let's
times.
say, yeah, do you share a home with someone, like a friend, or
Yes.
yeah, let's say you come together with three friends, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to have dinner or a meal together.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you are going to eat bread, and someone is better at cooking, someone is better at doing the dishes. So you organize and you say, okay, X person, you cut the bread.
Mm-hmm.
B person, can you do the cooking? The other one, can you cut the carrots? You
Mm-hmm.
cooperate, you come together
Okay.
because you want to have fun at a meal together and chit chat. But the meal needs to be prepared, and afterwards the dishes needs to be done. So
Mm-hmm.
you do it all together. Do you
Mm-hmm.
have to have a boss for this to happen?
Okay, like let me
Like,
say that
do
harmony,
you get my point? Just
yeah,
to
I
make it
got your point, but it is totally based on the mutual harmony between the people.
sure. In anarchism, you have this harmony.
Yeah,
You do
okay, but
things with people, you have harmony.
okay, if you don't have harmony, then one person can kill another one. If you don't have
No,
harmony, and no one can
it,
guarantee you that bring
wait,
justice
wait.
in your life.
So when you join this society,
Hmm,
no, killing someone maybe by accident might happen,
hmm,
because accidents happens, but outside accidents, like intentionally killing someone.
hmm.
So like taking away the life of someone else is like the biggest offense against their freedom. So
Okay.
so someone normally an anarchist ideally doesn't want to kill someone else.
Hmm,
I mean, so if someone uh, like we have these principles, if
hmm,
you if you don't obey these principles,
hmm,
because these principles make this anarchist organization possible. So if it's like if someone kills you, then the society might decide what will happen to you, or the best, like the minimal, you are just they will just tell you to leave, you know
mhm,
to they
In
will kick
in,
you out, because
in
this
sorry,
is voluntary, you are not forced to come in, so you don't
mhm,
have to be part of it.
mhm,
Indian Crusader.
mhm,
Anarchy does not mean no rule at all. There
mhm.
are some rules
But
in
who
societies.
maintains who maintains that rule, those rules?
The people.
Society,
But people.
there's no go. What is wrong with this current system?
Hmm,
There, this this pure capitalist system is giving benefit to only 5% of people, and
hmm,
rest of them are people are living on streets,
hmm.
are homeless. They
Hmm.
have no jobs at all, so
Okay.
people are dying in hunger.
Okay.
So this current government system
Hmm.
is is just an excuse for rich people to hide behind. So we
Yeah,
blame all this on government. So a government is just a shield to protect their wealth. You need to
yeah.
understand that.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
you know
Carry on.
uh, yeah, the government, in my explanation, so the
Mm-hmm.
government is a tool for the
Mm-hmm.
powerful to exploit you in a way, like mobsters. Like, in movies you see, we need protection money because we protect your shop, yeah. So you make some money, you make $1,000, they take 800 of it. So in movies you see those mafia guys, you say they extort people, they want to they want you to pay them some protection money, and you didn't ask for it. So the government is a sophisticated form of it. The government says, you see, I provide school for you. See, I provide churches for you, temples for you.
Mm-hmm.
I provide the military. I provide you security. Like, it's
Okay.
also protection money, but in more delicate ways. So what people, when they think about the government, you know, uh, uh, do you also think like this? The government is an organ, like an institute that serves the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is how we think about the government. But from the aspect of the powerful,
Mm-hmm.
the government is like a mask in front of the exploiters, and it legitimizes itself by providing some services,
Mm-hmm.
but the main goal is not to serve the people but to exploit the people. The main goal is when they need a military power, they they get the human resources from the society, or when they sell something, they sell it to the society, or when they need something to be produced, and that's why most people in the world are not so happy, and they have they have just one model of life. Like they go to work, they pay taxes, they go to their military service. If it's in Turkey, it's mandatory, for example. In many countries, it's like this. So you go to your military service, you make kids,
Mm-hmm.
you provide the newer generations, and you live on a dime. They pay you very little. If you can buy a house, you are lucky. Or like most people are broke.
Mm-hmm.
It's also their fault sometimes, but the system doesn't tell you to be how to handle money or how
But
to love someone. Yeah,
I have a question here.
yeah, sure.
Like, if you don't have right to accumulate the property, and human mind, it works on credit, system, and human mind is, selfish and greedy, already that. So, like, if you don't have, like, right to accumulate the property, so who builds your house, who is responsible for that, who like who builds the, who makes the education system, who builds hospitals, if all are equal,
I
who
think
cares
in
about that,
anarchism you can have some property. Property
Mm.
is not, you know,
In a nation, what called nation actually,
Anar-
where all the systems are present, like medical system is the very important, judicial system, military for external affairs, and like we should have education system. Okay, so these three or four departments, institutions are very important to
mhm.
form a nation. So these are missing in anarchical system. How you can say that, even it is not like eligible to be called as a nation in anarchy? I don't think,
An anarchist society can be a nation. There's nothing in
I
like
don't think so. I
and
don't think
and
so.
all the institutions and more than that can
Hmm.
exist in an anarchist society, but the organization is just different. The
All
organization is
all
just a
people.
little bit different than you are used to. So
Okay.
it might be at the beginning, it might be a little bit hard to, but remember the friend example. Let's say we
Hmm.
have we are in a three-bedroom house, and we are three friends. So if everyone cleans their own room, the
Hmm.
house is cleaned. Okay, and then they do the
Hmm.
corridor, the toilet, and the bathroom and the kitchen together. So I
Hmm.
mean, you can have a like bigger organization. For example, let's say you are going to organize the schooling, right?
Hmm.
So in every district you can have teachers, people
Hmm.
who like to teach. And I think in an anarchist society, people will be quite like
Hmm.
uh, like wise people. I mean, knowledgeable people,
Okay.
because
What about the bad people?
because
You
you know
don't.
the
You cannot
anarchism
say.
in anarchism you are not
Hmm.
so selfish. If you are too
It's a
selfish,
completely
you,
hypothetical,
yeah, you
nation.
wouldn't like
No.
you wouldn't like it. Like no, it's not
Hmm.
hypothetical. It's possible because
No,
in
it's
the
not
past
possible.
or
It already has been failed
where and when, how?
in some European countries.
Okay,
I was reading.
okay,
No.
Indian consider.
In
Hang on.
European
Let me ask you a
countries,
question.
Hmm.
Do you think you need government?
Yes, I need. I need like government to,
Like Like
Mhm.
you need government to tell you what you need to do.
Mhm.
Do
Yeah,
you need government?
we need a system, and for that system to
Yeah, in
be
anarchism
maintained
you
by the
have system.
government,
No,
itself.
like what is the latest philosophy? Like what is about anarchism? Anarchists think we don't need government. We
Hmm.
need liberty. We need, like, human need no ruler.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between. So
Mhm.
society can resolve these issues
Hmm.
by
So
themselves.
But
Like
societies
like
can have conflict, societies can have conflict
no.
between them.
they no
If one society dominate.
anarchy formed on like on small cities, not like big nations,
Hmm.
like small societies.
Hmm.
So people l- live in like in small cities,
Hmm.
and where they have more decentralized system.
Mhm.
It does not mean they have no
I
system at
agree.
all. They have system.
I agree, but it can run on a very small scale if you are taking example from the society at like in villages in countryside. It is still present, but as a nation, it is completely failure.
No. You just don't know how to do it.
Nation state anymore,
The,
literally. What are you talking about?
the problem here is that
Who is
you
speaking?
can. It's me. It's solid. It's
Mhm.
AK.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, go on.
yeah. I say, you just don't know how it can work because you didn't think about it before and you didn't read about it, or you lacked in knowledge.
No,
No,
I'm just
when
putting
you
like questions here. So like,
yeah okay. So
yeah.
you can have the same and better
Mm-hmm.
organization, and for most things you need to solve in life, you
Mm-hmm.
can have one and more solution. The anarchism provides you more options. Like it's very similar to the free market.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say there
Okay,
are
let me
20.
ask you one thing.
When
Okay.
you
Mm-hmm.
let me give you simple. When you buy a computer, you have like multiple options, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some company goes for, they have like a cheaper ones. The other one has expensive but higher quality, more performance, and so on. So someone needs just a PC to type. So what are they going to choose? They will pay less, but they will buy a computer which is enough to input text. But the other one wants to play games, so they buy a gaming PC from some other company or from the same company.
Mm-hmm.
So there can be multiple solutions for one problem, and there can be for many issues there can be more than one, maybe thousand, maybe millions of solutions. So millions a bit too much, but in an anarchist society,
Mm-hmm.
you can have cities, but uh, organizing in smaller groups because the relationships are.
Will work, because
No, no, no,
each
that's
and
not true.
every person
No,
is equal.
no.
If you are equal to me, why
Okay,
should I obey your rules?
you claim that people don't work because they're equal,
Yes, yes.
but that's
We
very
need.
In your Crusader, maybe that's why in India, like in Hinduism, they have the caste system because they
Yes.
thought people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yeah,
really think that?
we have caste system. We have caste system, and it can be example of the anarchical system. One mutual. Like one caste oppresses another caste. So because there is a mutual conflict between them.
okay? Then let
That's
me.
why you need anarchism. That's why you need liberty.
No, that's
You
why
don't
we
need
need a judicial system to suppress that oppression in the society. You cannot
judiciary
understand.
don't work anymore. This system
Judiciary
don't work
works
anymore.
well. Judiciary
Yeah,
works
yeah.
well if it is honest.
No, no.
Yeah,
If it is honest, and
and it is adhered to the
so
constitution
the people,
which
the
we have
people,
adopted.
the
Okay.
people, when we talk with socialist friends, they believe in like forced equality. So their idea is similar, but they force it like on people. And I said, we can do everything without a government. And they say, no, if there's no government, no business will get done or so. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, the people in the government who are solving these problems, do they,
Government is
do
not
they,
an alien
wait, wait,
concept.
wait,
Government
wait,
in
wait,
government.
wait, 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 wait. I said, the people in the government can handle these issues, but the regular people cannot. This is your claim. And then I said,
Yeah, they
okay,
are
let me,
extraordinary because they are
please let me
also
finish.
representative of the society. They are selected by the people, to the
But you don't
people.
let me finish.
But currently people don't have power.
I
Indian
can get my,
Crusader,
yeah.
in current system, people
They
don't
have
have power
power.
to select.
They have
Like,
power.
oh
It
no,
is.
only rich
It
people
is.
can
It is.
become.
It is. These are bad consequences of the capitalism, not the democratic system. At all.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Can you
The
become
democratic system,
representative of your people?
Yes, I am
democratic system is
representative
part
also.
No, you cannot become. You need a lot of money.
capitalism.
What are you saying, man?
You need a lot of money in current system to become like become a minister or something in your
Okay.
government.
You need ideology. You need
No,
ideology to
no,
become a
ideology is.
representative. Not
Those are
you
to
don't
fool people
need
about it.
money, man. What are you saying? What are you saying? You need
You're not
ideology
understanding my point, but that's okay.
to bring people in your company, in your organization. You need ideology, just ideology. You don't need
We
money.
have the best ideology. What kind of ideology do you need?
Ideology like right wing, left wing, they have different ideologies, and some
Yeah,
people,
we are
despite they are,
anarchist wing,
let me
brother.
say, you don't allow some other people, just keep talking, talking, talking. Okay, okay, complete.
Yeah, anarchism itself is an ideology. What do you expect?
Yeah, if
Like,
if in a, like, if it is anarchy in my country, India, okay, I'm from India, and I don't find anarchy, how they will treat me, how?
you will be out of the system. Like you will be happy in your democratic system or
No, I
whatever
am,
system you want.
if I don't agree and I'm not happy in that, I want to accumulate the property. So who is responsible for that? The anarchical system is not letting, like, to me to accumulate the property. So
But you are not part
according
of
to
the.
me, for
You are not.
myself, it is bad consequences of the anarchical system.
No, no, no. Because you are not part of it. You are not in their land. You are not in their society. So you can be happy in your own society. Like, so when we say anarchist society, it doesn't mean it covers everyone.
Mhm.
It covers the people who are voluntarily joining it.
What about the human nature, human psychology? If one
It
man in, if
it's
my
totally
community
okay.
accumulates the property,
Uh,
okay, and then my community definitely will oppress the another community who is just,
yeah,
like, not backed
then
up
the one which
economically.
has better weapons and better warring skills will win the other. And
What
an
are you saying?
anarchist
It's
country
completely
cannot survive.
hypothetical. On the ground level, it cannot succeed.
The system you're talking
You
about
know,
has already
maybe
failed.
hang
Has
on.
already
Maybe
failed.
Indian Crusader, maybe it is not going to work right now. But in future, you don't
Mhm.
need government. Maybe currently we are not evolved enough to rule ourselves.
Mhm.
But
I
I
think
do
we
think
are.
we are evolved enough. But
Mhm.
we need to change this system. But
Mhm.
I think in future we need a stateless government, like stateless,
Yes, sir.
where we don't have nation states, we don't have government. So that was my point. But in future you will realize that this system is causing a lot of problem. So people will
Are you sure
start.
that I'm going to, like, r- going to
Okay.
regret about that?
I'm not
Does anyone
saying you are going to regret it, but
Okay.
people will realize,
Okay.
this is like a new idea. So people
Mhm.
do not understand this right now, but in
Mhm.
future they will understand. Like 10 years before, no one was talking about this state where like government have too much power. But currently in Western countries, a lot
Mhm.
of people are talking about that government possess so much power they are abusing power. Like they control state bank and they control currency. They control everything. Like they are regulating markets.
Mhm.
So that's the point.
Like
So
you,
that's
if
why people, you need devolution of power. Like, like maybe 300 years ago, we used to have kings. Like maybe 1000 years ago, we used to have kings. Later on, the king's power devolved with Senate. Like in Roman used to have Senate, like a group of maybe 10 to 15 people who were making decisions. And later, like the power devolved, then democracy came. So like the more time pass, people will become more empowered. So this will bring more devolution in power. So do you really want to see the one class who is more powerful, who is in government, who have the lot of money? We need devolution of power, where one group should not be able to rule other group. Did you get my point?
I'm going to shed some different light. Do you guys know
Okay, yeah, go on.
chemotherapy for cancer? You probably heard, yeah. Cancer
Can
is
you speak a little louder so we can
yeah,
understand you?
sure. Cancer is treated with chemotherapy, right?
Yeah.
And now this is like the institutional, like the solution for cancer. And do you guys know the success rate of chemotherapy?
No.
It's around
Maybe
3%. So like 3% in 100 people gets healed.
Yeah.
And they claim it's the chemotherapy. I think their body is strong and I mean, the chemotherapy is probably not the solution.
so, do
And
you have any alternative to that?
oh, yeah, sure,
Just
sure.
listen to him.
Yeah. They have. And I actually cured a few people, but I don't want to talk about cancer, but I gave this example. So the democratic system is as effective as chemotherapy. And
Yeah.
just look around and count, like make a wild guess and say, um, what percentage of the population is happy about their government, like about the services and the things they get from the government. And think globally, not just India, but the whole world. Think about the best countries, like European countries or like well-developed countries. And do you think those people are happy? Or like because they have the best governments, they have the best democracy, quote unquote, And democracy is just like chemotherapy. The success. You say anarchism failed.
So you say it's like
There
a
was
like a
there was
placebo effect.
Yeah, I mean, like chemotherapy is actually not a cure. The chemotherapy makes you live a little bit longer, so they can make a little more money out of your
Okay,
like
so that's
insurance. Okay.
that's exactly what you're saying. After all, it's like a placebo effect. It gives you, it allows you to live a little longer, but it's not as it's not a solution.
Yeah. The chemotherapy, what it does is it harms the cancer cells, but it also harms the healthy cells.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, it kills the cancer. It also kills you. It also weakens you. So eventually, you are very likely to die. My friend, for example, someone next to her died during chemotherapy, for example. And it was a terrible moment because everyone in the room, like 8 or 9 people, sitting on the chairs, like getting their chemotherapy for 8 or 9 hours. They saw someone dying during chemotherapy, and it was like a psychologically not a nice incident for them. And then, I mean, the democracy, like the government and the business world together, like when we talk about capitalism, this democracy we're talking about is part of this capitalistic exploitation system. When you look deeper in it, you will see. And this system you are praising and you think it's a good system is actually not much better than chemotherapy for what chemotherapy is for cancer patients. So it doesn't make people happy, or it doesn't make people potent, or it doesn't make people. And when it comes to work, you know, you say people are lazy or selfish. Every living being, from virus to whales to humans, or like a dog or a cat, every living being is trying to stay alive, right? And I wouldn't say selfish, but every living creature is against like chasing self-interest to survive. But it doesn't mean it's like extremely selfish or selfish, like in a bad way. Every animal, every insect, every bacteria is taking care of themselves. So in that way, this is a normal thing. Like you come first, or the bacteria says I come first, or the mosquito say I come first, so it gets some blood of you. But this is like a balanced way. But human beings, they have like this memory and these mental capabilities, so they can pervert this self-interest into extreme selfishness. Okay, and a selfish person never would never join an anarchist community, because in an anarchist community, when you commit a crime or like break the rules, it doesn't mean you don't get punished, because people might decide to punish you. Let's say if you kill someone, they might say, okay, let's kill him because he took a life, he broke the rules, and it was his decision to join this community. So no, all people are not selfish. We are not selfish. We are normally, like ideally, like naturally, we have self-interest, because our main drive is like staying alive. This is our main drive until we die, which is ironic, but it is like this. But we can become super selfish when we pervert the normal. Not everyone is selfish. For example, I would love to share with people in an anarchist community. I would, let's say, if I know a topic well, and if some kids want to learn it, they can come to me and I can be their teacher when I have the time. Like I can give some of my time for those people to raise, to help raising them, or others' kids or my own kids, you know. So in such community, you can experience, because in capitalism, you know, do you also notice that we are herd animals? You know, we live in groups, because living in groups, um, evolution has shown that herd animals have a better chance to survive. So therefore, helping others is part of being a herd animal, and therefore, I think we can have a peaceful or sharing or like a loving community. We are not just selfish. Even the most selfish person, sometimes you see acts of love or acts of compassion, you know. Maybe a few people, like very rare people, are like almost 100% bad or harmful for others. But normally an average person can be selfish at times, or maybe chase self-interest at some point, but then they can turn into, at the other moment, they can also be like a good person to someone else. You can, Indian Crusader, you can have certification. In an anarchist society, you can have anything you have in this system, and it has the chance to be better, because everyone can directly join the system, directly start catering. Right the moment when they think something is a good idea, they can start giving to other people, or they can start providing solutions. But in this system, you have to have, first you come up with a law. You first need to capture like some interest and influence people and get elected. And when people get elected, idealist people can't do anything, because there are so many checks and balances, and also from their own political party, they are stopped by other interest groups. Because a few idealist people, like let's say they luckily they got elected and got into the parliament, let's say, they don't have the power to change anything on their own. Maybe if they are a group of very good people, and good people mostly don't have this like this great will or like the strong will to come to power, because they are not so greedy or not so passionate about power. Yeah, logic and yeah, our consciousness evolve. I agree with Kanda. So for anarchism to work, there was a 3-year period of anarchism in Spain, part of Spain. But there was a guy called Franco, and there were the Republicans, and there were communists. So while Franco was attacking them, they attacked each other. Normally in Spain, and there was some anarchist army in Ukraine, but I looked into it. If it was not so like an anarchy, because a military system is not an ideal medium for anarchism. But in Spain, they had anarchism. They had like I think socialist or communist anarchism, which is a little bit different than the version of mine. But they were actually quite successful in the 3 years. But before those 3 years, the organizing part took around 40 years, like around, because in 36 they came to power in those regions, and anarchism is one option, and it needs to be tested. Like it needs to evolve. Anarchism itself also needs to be tested and evolved and readjusted. Because, but in Spain, the anarchists were really successful in production, especially. For example, they took over the factories, and when like the Franco was the fascist one, the Franco won the war. And when the old factory owners returned, they saw that production was doubled in many cases. Like because the anarchists were all trying to do their best, because they were not like workers. They were like everyone was the owner and was trying to contribute. So they actually improved the factories and so on. But this is a very short term, like 3 years of experience. So anarchism in the world has never been overwhelmingly tested or tried, and my opinion is that any system should evolve. Like any system we build should be ever evolving, checking, testing. If it doesn't work, try another thing until you reach some satisfying point, and then skip to another part which is not working.
Yeah, I agree with. Like, we need to work on a system where we can give more and more people happiness and their freedom.
Sure.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
point.
And in this system, there is this balance between respect and freedom. So you can have people who are, I understand people coming from this government perspective, because that's all they know. They have never seen anything else. They have no thought. They don't know it. They don't know what we are talking about. But
There are two kind of people who try
yeah,
experiment new things. There are people who are comfortable with traditional
yeah,
system, who are
because
traditionalists.
yeah,
But I'm
this
not traditionalist. I want to try new things. So yeah,
mhm.
it's their mentality maybe.
Yeah, you need to think about it, maybe read about it. I never, I never read much about anarchism, but anarchism was, I was an anarchist before knowing the word. It was just
Yeah,
embedded in my genes. Like my personality is like an anarchistic personality. I don't want to rule others. I don't want to be ruled. I'm like, for example, my cousin, I have a cousin which had a like big friendship group. Like they had like 20, 30 people
yeah,
hanging around together. And then when I looked at their group, my cousin was the leader. He was deciding mostly like a few people in those 20 people, I don't know the exact number, but they were like crowds. There was someone deciding for the others. Like they would always listen to that person. And I said, cousin, you have a really weird friendship, you know. In my friends, like among my friends, we also had like 10, 15 people, but like 6 or 7 were the core group, and the others were from the neighborhood, like not so close friends. But whatever we did, we didn't need any leader, or even when we were little, someone would put up an idea, and if most of us were like the idea, we just did it. Or let's say if someone says, shall we do this or shall we do that? And sometimes it would be nice, but I feel lazy, so we didn't do it. But if we all got excited, let's say he says, let's go to the pool tomorrow, and if everyone likes, we go to the pool. Or sometimes we everyone would bring some minced meat, and in the garden we would make a mixture of vegetables and minced meat, and then go to the shop to make pide. You know, we have this this flatbread with toppings like pizza.
Oh,
So we would do these kind of things. Sometimes we would play games. You know what children do, or what young people do. And
yeah, makes
sometimes we
sense.
would go for a trip. So, like, friendship is the best example that anarchism is possible. And I have put lots of thought into this, because you can organize in small groups, like organic, really harmonious groups, and they can do one part of some business, and the output can be an input of another small group. And like cities can be organized as small villages, so it would be much healthier, you know, like psychologically. So now you walk in a crowded city, and most people you don't even know your neighbor at the next door, you know. I'm living in this building for 6 years, 5 years now, 5.5 years, and I don't know my neighbors. I just know a few. I say
Yeah,
hi.
exactly. Because yeah, yeah, that's the fucking problem with developing countries. I don't know where you come from, but in developing countries like my countries, there we have 2 or 3 developed cities. So
Yeah,
everyone want to go there,
I
everyone
completely.
live there. So there's too much population in these cities, concentrated population.
Yeah, concentrated. The cities, you
Yeah,
know, cities. I think cities are like prisons, because you are not living in your own
exactly.
soil anymore. You cannot produce for yourself. You have to go to the supermarket. You have to buy everything from someone else. So you have no independence. So if you had some soil to grow some crop, or to have some, Afghanistan is not an anarchy. Afghanistan is a theocracy. Like it's like theocratic aristocracy. That's not anarchism. No. When we
Bro,
say
that's
anarchism
different
in
anarchy. In
Afghanistan,
an anarchy system, you need education, you need developed societies.
yeah,
What I mean, what are you talking about? Afghanistan, like they literally have any literacy. They're not no education in these countries.
their only book is the Quran, and they are fucked up.
Yeah, they only follow one master. One master is their religion.
You know, this guy who made documentary about Afghanistan. He said a young guy raped an old guy for breaking religious rules. So in Islam, normally homosexuality is banned. You know, it's not allowed. But the punishment is like he said. I'm glad I didn't get raped in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I mean,
Indian
he was
Crusaders,
lucky.
you know, the concept of anarchism, you have this like prejudice without knowledge, I believe. But
Anarchism does not mean equal. Everyone is not equal.
yeah, it's
But we have rationality
anarchism.
and logic in this society where we
Yeah,
can take
true.
care of each other.
Yeah, like it's not like
And
the
it's
equality.
more natural where people can take their rights. We
Yeah,
don't need government to give our rights because the government currently don't give us rights.
Indian Crusader, I think you don't have a real opinion because I think you need this knowledge, before you can judge. You need to know what anarchism is. We are trying to tell you a little bit, but it seems like you are just fixated. So there's no point on trying to convince you. Of course, a discussion doesn't mean we have to convince someone, but
Yeah, I mean, of
but
course.
let's say my friend here, he I think you digged into anarchism, yeah, right? So you already know a little bit about it. So
Yeah, exactly.
so
I'm
then
kind of anarchist. I'm
yeah,
more liberal, so I
yeah.
just on I don't want any rules on my life.
And the rules, so who makes the rules? Whoever pays the politicians set the rules.
Yeah, rules
Let
are
the
just
rules
made
don't.
to protect rich people.
Yeah. Sometimes, let's say, sometimes the society makes a big fuss about a new law, so they withdraw it for a while. Then 3 years later, they change it a little bit, and then it comes into effect. And then you wake up all of a sudden, what happened? When did this happen? Indian Crusader, I wish you all the best and all the happiness in a quote unquote democratic society.
Yeah,
Happiness to, if you like government, I respect that. You can have your government, you can have your society, nation with the government, because I want to unite with people, like-minded people who believes in it. Like equality is like, anarchism is an egalitarian approach because there is no hierarchy. Like in means of hierarchy, everyone is
you
the
know,
same.
in anarchy, equality does not mean everyone equal. Equality mean where everyone at least have basic right, like where they have proper.
Basic opportunities.
Sorry, yeah, go on, carry on.
The equality is like there is no hierarchy, so everyone is at the same level. But let's
Yeah,
say if you work harder than me, you will become richer than me, which is also valid in an anarchism. Indian Crusader, like discussion doesn't mean someone has to win or someone. It doesn't mean you have to convince the other one. Okay, we couldn't convince you, or we couldn't give you the idea. Maybe we couldn't communicate it as well as we needed to be, but we still believe in anarchism, and you don't. That's okay. You believe in the government. I understand why you believe in the government. So let's say a government is better if there is nothing, like if there are no rules, or if there's no any kind of organization. Like even a terrible government can be better because it provides services, but we know that there are better things than a government. And ever since ever since the governments existed, a little later after we became like agricultural species, so like we be settled and we stopped foraging and hunting, the government popped up and religion popped up, and both, when you look at both of them are exploiting people. They are used to exploit people. Okay, let me, Indian Crusader, I'm going to give you one example. I am a wealthy capitalist, okay? And then I go to talk to the political parties. They say I'm a billionaire, okay? And I live in a country, X country, doesn't matter, the name doesn't matter. And let's say there are like 3 candidates which can win. So I go to talk to all 3 of them, okay? Anarchism can work in a country. You can have an anarchist army. There was an anarchist army in Ukraine. They had an anarchist army, but like the organization of an army, like, because I know the art of war, the army
you
is a
know, okay.
desert animal.
Let me tell you one thing. The latest form of anarchism, they don't believe in borders. They don't believe in nations.
But you won't use the word nation. I use the word society, like anarchist society. The
Yeah,
name doesn't
exactly.
matter. Because you are a group of people with same ideals, with same values and same way of living. or like
Yeah,
life,
exactly.
similar life philosophy. So you are a group, and let's say we are 1 million people, or let's say we are 100 million people come together with the same idea. Let's say we have 100 million anarchists, and we came together like by geographically, we live in the same spot. And then as a society, there are also other societies. Let's say Indian Crusader got really pissed and he became the president of the Y country, and he say, fuck anarchism, I hate anarchism, let's wage war on them. So the anarchist community either will be slaughtered, or they will create some form of defense, right? And then
Yeah.
push it back. And
Okay, let Indian Crusaders speak. I think he wants to speak.
okay, if he wants to speak, he can speak.
You're from Turkey, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like, I think that's why you are an artist.
Anarchy. When I was a little child, I had these like freedom vibes, you know.
So, are you a religious person right now?
No.
Do you follow it? Are you agnostic or religious person?
I'm an atheist.
Atheist, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, anarchism, you know, God is also a hierarchy.
Yeah.
If you think. And you know, it's a way of exploitation. You know this guy called Seneca, like the historian, mathematician, is I think from ancient Greek, or he's like a philosopher. Like he says, religion is a need for the ignorant, is unnecessary. Yeah, is unnecessary for the wise, and it's a tool to rule for the powerful. Like,
yeah.
And religion is like before science, or in the old times when we can't explain something, but we have this need, so we filled the world with religion. Or let's say some people came up with these religious beliefs and they promoted those ideas, and it was easy to fill up those gaps, you know, where did we come from? So people ask, where did we come from? Oh, God created us. Okay, how did the world start? Oh, God was bored with himself because he was alone. For entertainment, he created the universe. He created the universe in his own image, and like these nice tales. But this is the latest version of religion. But like more ancient religions make more sense, like natural religions or early religions. Like some people, but there is always like a funny belief in that. Like it's all symbolism, you know, trying to explain the world. But now we have science, and science is the best way to explain. It's not perfect, or like it's not 100% capable, but it's the best thing we have come up with so far.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, what's up, Sydney?
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Hey, Sydney.
Indian Crusader, the floor is yours, bro.
Indian Crusader, if you want to speak, you can say.
AFK, he didn't speak for a while. Sydney might be AFK or listening, maybe doing some work, because he didn't speak.
I don't know.
No, I'm here.
Okay, he's here. Crusader, please, the floor is yours. Please talk. Because you and I are like-minded now. He feels like over. We know we are anarchists. We don't like to dominate. But sorry.
You dominated this room, you know, and you are not like allowing other people to say anything. You're just telling each other the ideas, discussing a lot about that. Like
Indian Crusader, hang on. Literally, you can say
now
everything.
again, hang on.
We will listen. Literally, you don't need to complain about that. You are not speaking, to be honest.
You are not allowing other people to say anything, you know. You grab the chance and then the other
You never ask. Bro, literally, you are
That's
behaving
why
like women.
Again, you are disturbing a lot.
hang on. Literally, I don't know, but you are just like, I don't know why are you complaining, but we didn't stop you from speaking.
Okay, I want to add something. Maybe because we talked too much, there was no chance for him to come in. But okay, now we are listening. Sorry for the disturbance.
Oh, he left.
He left? Ah,
I,
okay. I think he got emotional a little bit, but sometimes when you have this energy and talk a lot, the other person might feel like suppressed or yeah, it's not that we don't want him to speak, but it's how he sees it, like because we are talking a lot, maybe.
I don't know, but I think people are more emotionally unstable right nowadays.
Yeah, that's very likely with most.
I mean, that's maybe a harsh word to say, but like people want to become a main character of the room. If they are
Ah,
neglected or they are not like they're not main
center of interest.
character, so
If
they
they're
would
not,
think like they are like mistreated or something.
yeah. Sometimes people might think like that or feel like that, or they might have some insecurity that got triggered from the other
Who are you talking
talk
to?
or whatever.
Who are you talking about or talking to?
There was a Indian crusader which got a little bit emotional.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, we were talking about anarchism and he didn't agree, and because we are two anarchists, I think he feels outnumbered.
Oh,
But we didn't have any intention to make him feel bad. But
well,
what can you do?
I hope it comes back.
I think he got offended on. It's like you know, when some woman makes up something in the head and attacks you like emotionally. It feels a little bit like that.
No, I'm actually not familiar with
Like in my country, women, like let's say not women, but mostly women, but also some men, uh, they make up from the things they see or hear from the other party. They come to a conclusion which is not connected to the reality, but which is triggered by some insecurity in their own emotional structure. So they come to a conclusion that you have some ill intention for them,
that.
and then without confirming with the other party, they directly attack you like verbally or emotionally. So this is very common among Turkish women. So and also some males also do it, but in women it's very common. So if I come across a woman who doesn't do this often, so I get surprised. So this is like that, like a reaction which is based upon not a realistic view of the situation because of the perception. What they perceive is they make like they come to a conclusion which is not in contact with reality.
Right.
A little bit hard to explain, but I think you get the idea.
Yeah, no, I think we. It's more than just me that gets the idea. Gandalf gets the idea. Yeah, that was a pretty good discussion we had going there. Right?
Yeah, I also like it, but it's very interesting that when people have no clue about any topic,
Mm-hmm.
they still have a very strong opinion, which is funny.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when when someone